Hey everyone, Scott Cunningham, aka Scott C Business. Today I want to talk to you guys about what my initial thoughts are on the new EOS Voice application that recently launched on Valentine's Day, February 14th. I do not have access because currently it is in beta and they're only rolling out access to other countries very slowly. Currently it is only available in the United States and invite only, but it's really more of like a request access basis. Regardless, I cannot get access, so I combed through everything I possibly could. I've also got some things I'm going to show you, and I've watched every review and video of people actually going through it and looked at all the images, all the Reddit posts, basically everything. I spent a good few hours today doing that, so I want to give you all the takeaways that I have and my thoughts on voice. So yeah, let's just jump into it. I'm going to just read you the things that I found, and then I'm going to share my screen with you and show you some stuff from voice that is a little concerning, and also just walking through it as well. So voice is only available currently on browser, and they're testing a mobile dapp, but it's currently only available on browser, and that's fine. Also, before I really get into it, I do want to quickly mention that with voice, because they're slowly rolling out to every country, I think, like my speculation anyways, my opinion, my speculation is that the reason that it's not available in Canada is because they're trying to go so by the book with regulations and the legalities and whatever, that we obviously know is the case with KYC and everything else that they're doing. The problem is they might get really blocked by all the different regulations in every single country. That might make it very challenging, and they're going to have tons of legal and lawyers to be able to solve this. That is my honest opinion as to why it's not in Canada. I don't think they're rolling out the beta to different countries very slowly just for the sake of it. I believe it's probably because they're going to have a lot of trouble with legalities, and that's why it's rolling out so slowly. But that's all speculation. You tell me what you think. Let's get back to it. So for posting and publishing, the platform operates very similarly to Medium, or like Minds, if you're familiar with Minds. It's really just about blog style content. There's no native video or anything like that, but you can embed YouTube videos and code snippets. You can upload GIFs, PNGs, and JPEGs with a 10 megabyte limit, and you can't edit posts after you post them. But you can delete them. I don't like that at all. With a platform that is a blogging focused platform, if you can't edit a post, that's going to cause a lot of problems, and people are just going to leave errors and things because they don't want to delete the whole post and post it all over again. It's just way too cumbersome. I think that's going to be a huge issue with the platform. Not a resistance point for joining, because most people won't know, but once they get on there, they're probably going to get really annoyed with that. And it's simple, but it would make a lot more sense for short posts, not for long format blog posts. That doesn't make any sense to me. For promotion with the token, essentially the way it works is that you will voice a post, and essentially what that does is it will pin that post and give you some exposure. I'm not entirely sure as to where it's pinned, like if it's pinned on the category or what that looks like, because I don't know how it would work where you pin something and then someone else is trying to pin something and you're both vying for the position. I don't know how that works necessarily, but it may just be the case that voicing will just put you on the top of the listing, like the way that the algorithm lists out the content. It'll be based on people's voiced promotions, and it'll essentially just be however much you've put into it at this point is where you'll be listed amongst the other people. And if eventually you stop getting voiced after 24 hours, your post will fall back down to the bottom. I'm not sure. No one's actually explained that entirely or, found that out. So this is just from what my interpretation of it is. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I do know that the way that it works from an example that I saw was you might start off and you post a new post, and I'm not sure if it's based on the time of the post or because she posted in the wellness category and there's not many people posting there, but it was only going to cost her 1 token to repost, whereas some of the more popular posts were like 2,000 to voice. So she voiced her own post with 1 token, and then it pinned her post. She didn't actually go and look. That's why I don't know if it was pinned to the top of the category or how that exactly works. But someone else went and voiced her post right after. They spent 1.2 tokens to do it. Now, when someone else voices your post, you get the tokens that they spent. So you get yours back plus a little bit more because they have to spend more and then you're getting those. So she got 1.2 tokens and a little bit of promotion. And this person is continuing to promote her post for her. But this person who is now promoting it also gets listed as the person who promoted the post. So if you go to her post, at the top of the post is the person, it shows their profile picture and then their name and then how much they spent and how much you would have to then spend to take over as the person promoting it. Essentially, the whole point of this is that if people continually think your post is worth voicing, then they know that they're going to get a little promotion, plus they're going to earn more tokens because someone else will eventually voice it. The person who is the last person to voice and 24 hours passes will not get any back. It'll just be spent. So if you spend on your own post, you will just lose that if no one promotes it. But if people continue to promote it, you'll get that promotion, plus you'll get your tokens back, and then you'll be good to go. So I think that is a very unique and different way to do promotions. And I think it's actually very, very cool. And it works really well. But it also creates this like weird incentive for everyone to just go around voicing everyone's posts because you'll get the promotion. Plus, I'm assuming in the beta, everyone's just doing this. So it'll be very easy to make your money back. I don't think that'll be the case when it opens up to everyone, but right now that's probably the case. Regardless, that is the promotion aspect. Something that is very concerning for a lot of people and is going to create a lot of resistance for joining the platform is that you have to be KYC verified, meaning that you need to provide them with a government issued ID, license, passport, whatever it might be, plus take a selfie. And then they're going to take all of that and corroborate that with your social media profiles as well. Now, I don't think many people outside of like EOS are going to be super thrilled to have to KYC even to just use the platform. So currently I only know of 2 platforms that are actively used that have KYC, and that is DLive and SoMe. But they only have KYC if you're trying to withdraw from the platform. So you can still use the platform, no issues, but this requires that even to like log in, even to see any post at all, like I can't even explore. I really don't like it when platforms are set that you can't see anything happening on the platform unless you sign up. I think people should be able to get an idea of what it looks like and how it feels before they actually feel like they have to sign up, because you have to give them your ID and stuff. And a lot of people are very distrusting of doing that, especially people outside of crypto. They're going to be very reluctant to trust some random new application they've never heard of. They've never heard of EOS. Why would they give them their ID? Most people on most platforms, legacy platforms, have never even considered giving their ID to the platform, let alone some random new platform they've never heard of. This is going to be a huge hurdle, and I'd love to share with you a tiny little or a quick story as to why this is probably not going to work out that great. One of the very first interviews I ever did was with Social Chains. And the reason I never posted it was because I'm pretty sure they made a bunch of stuff up. They lied. When I checked the platform, there was no one on there. They said there was 50,000 users. I literally could not find a single person aside from the original owner and some of the staff. And so I said, I'm not going to post this video, but I had to KYC verify, and they had the same reasoning. We're going to solve all the issues. There's bots. There's all this stuff. People will see the value in getting rid of that and want to give us their ID. Well, it turns out no one saw the value in that, and it didn't really work out. Plus, it was really weird because They would even have to manually approve everything that you did. Like if you changed your profile picture or your name or anything like that, they had to manually approve it. And it took like 24 hours just to change my profile picture. I was not having it. That platform never worked out. I haven't heard about it. Haven't seen it since. I tried logging in. They deleted my account. I gave up on it. I don't see a lot of people KYC verifying. Simple. Some potential issues. I already mentioned the legal issues. The other issue is that you can't buy or sell the token until it's out of beta. And we have no idea when that would be, right? Steam It was in beta for 4 years, right up until it was sold. So who knows, right? But with Steam It, you could sell and do all your stuff. You should absolutely be able to, but who knows? I'm pretty sure they're only doing this because something that they also said was that at the end of the beta, they might just reset everyone's tokens. So the benefit of getting into the beta, if you are going to do this, is that you're going to get a really good username. And then, you'll get yourself all set up. You'll post a bunch, get a following, get everyone in the beta following you, get all that promotion from voicing and all that good stuff. And then everyone's tokens get reset, and then everyone comes onto the platform and uses it, and you've already got a big head start. That's the only benefit I could see to even bothering with the beta. Otherwise, it may be. So there's a chance it might not be. There's a chance but I don't think that they're going to release it and let all these people have just like thousands and thousands and thousands of all these tokens, because it'll make it worth less when it originally comes out. So presumably they will just reset it, but we'll see. Because it might be, they might have to have the balance of, if we reset all of this, will all the users be mad, or will it be better for the value? And then that will also entice these users to keep using it because it's so valuable. We'll have to see, right? You earn tokens from signing up, being an active user, and then signing in each day. So I don't know what being an active user necessarily entails, and they don't really dive into it. And when I was watching her using the platform in one of the reviews, she was liking and commenting and doing all that stuff, but she didn't earn any crypto. She might have at the end of the day or something, but it's not instantaneous by any means. My question is, though, if tokens can be bought and sold after the beta, but you earn from signing up, can I just sign up, get my 3,000 voice tokens, which is what they gave to people in the beta, and then just sell it all and then just call it a day? I don't know. We'll have to see. The token for voice will also have a 10% inflation to be able to support its development and operation. I don't know if that will see halvings or if that will change, but 10%, I don't know. I mean, it has to be growing at a pretty good rate for 10% to be viable, and not eventually just, devalue it over time. But we'll have to see, right? So that, I didn't touch on moderation. So we're going to look through the rules, and I'm going to explain as to how they're kind of awful. They're very similar to legacy platforms. They're not motivated by traditional blockchain values. By no means are they aiming to be censorship free or immutable. Neither of those are the case. You can delete posts and they will delete posts. And when we go through the rules, you'll see that free speech is not really upheld, or like the standard. It's extra things that they add, which is why it's very similar to legacy platforms and very far from the original motivations of blockchain, because a lot of people got away from legacy platforms because of censorship. And now they're coming onto a platform. The only real value proposition is that there's not going to be any bots or any farming or anything like that. And you will be able to earn money, but you could still be censored all the same. There's no, like I mentioned earlier, there's no native uploads. So even if you're just sharing videos, you're still sharing your YouTube videos on this platform, meaning that, if you're just able to share your YouTube videos, then you've still got the same issue if YouTube censored you or terminated you or whatever. You've got the exact same issue still. So that's not really solved at all. So there's a lot less of a value proposition now to even bother going through all this effort, KYC, all this stuff. Mind you, watching someone else go through it, it only took them like 10 minutes, but it's still just really hard to rationalize going through KYC and doing all this when there's all these potential issues. And I mean, they're running it on a private chain because the EOS blockchain is so congested and so poorly managed that you can't make transactions on there without a ridiculous amount of money. And with $4 billion in their ICO, you would expect that EOS has got a lot more, money and resources than anyone else to be able to fix these kinds of things and make sure that they weren't an issue to begin with, but they haven't. So that is everything that I've sort of noted and written down. I'm going to actually super quickly, I'm going to add that you get 3,000 tokens for signing up. So that's something that you might want to just note. But I don't know if that's just for the beta, but when she was going through, the person that I was watching was going through like the rules and the FAQ on the site, which again, I don't know why I can't look at that. It's kind of, that sucks just because I'm not signed up. I can't read the rules and stuff. But regardless, she pointed out that you get 3,000, right? And I don't know if that will change because it just says you get the tokens for signing up, being an active user, and then signing in every day. Again, I don't know if that will change, but regardless, it's something to consider. If you look at the FAQ on Voice, it's very different from what the people in the app actually see. This is more about how you use the platform, and it gives you a little bit of information. It does say how you earn tokens, but it just says that essentially you can earn tokens every day from signing in. You earn additional tokens from creating content that people consume and appreciate, which is a very vague way of saying that only if people voice your content will you earn, because you will get the earnings from the voicing. But it doesn't actually say that, if someone likes your content, you're not necessarily going to earn, but maybe liking other people's content will help you earn because that's being an active user. But again, we don't know. And it doesn't say anything else beyond that. So here, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a quick look at the ground rules and why they're very similar to Facebook and other censorship-prone platforms. So, no hate, abuse, or discrimination. And by the way, I just jumped a few of the original stuff. And actually, let's look at unacceptable content here. Respecting copyrights, that's fair. Legally protected, that's fair. All content must be completely original. Limited quoting for purposes or commentary is acceptable. But we want to hear what you have to say. Limited. Now, again, that's just going to come down to a moderator's own decision, which is always going to be arbitrary, and they'll just remove it as they need to. This is where it gets a little worse and more, it shows that they don't actually respect free speech, especially that it's only available in the US right now, and they don't even really respect free speech because, again, they're kind of following along with Facebook and these other platforms. Obviously, this makes sense. Don't spread hate. This isn't a demand. This is just like the opening sentence. All the openers are just kind of like things that like suggestions, but the rest are rules that allow them to ban you or delete your stuff. Don't promote or incite hatred. That makes sense, but it's not like legally binding with free speech. You're allowed to do that, but you can't promote violence. So that's fair. Don't use offensive stereotypes, race, ethnicity, faith, country of origin, disability, health status, age, gender, or sexual orientation. That makes sense, but again, none of that is protected under free speech. So, or rather, all of it is protected under free speech. So, obviously they don't care about free speech. Don't upload hateful symbols. So that's going to be another problem, right? What if you're a history channel and you're talking about World War II? Guess what? You're probably going to have your stuff deleted, right? What if you upload something that's racist, but it is for education because it's Black History Month? Like, what? There's a lot of weird ways that these could cause problems, and they have many times on other platforms. There's a lot of YouTubers who do history, like have history channels and talk about history, that were demonetized, terminated because they talked about World War II. And that's very, very concerning that they're trying to erase any trace of like these socialist regimes. It seems very concerning to me that seems to be the goal, but it's under the guise of we don't want hateful symbology. This is probably the worst, most egregious thing that they have here. Don't use veiled or coded language to try to skirt this rule. Okay, so Twitter was banning people for saying learn to code because journalists found that offensive, even though they previously said that to coal miners. And it is kind of offensive, but it absolutely should not be bannable and is so much protected under free speech that it's ridiculous. Steven Crowder almost got banned for saying, I hate figs, because, fill in the blank of what figs actually is referring to. But that is veiled or coded language that would get him then banned from this platform. And YouTube couldn't ban him because they ended up saying that, well, it wasn't actually breaking any of our rules. And then a few months later, they changed the rules that said, if you come close to breaking the rules enough times, you could be banned. That's basically what they're saying here. You can use coded or veiled language, but this is thought policing, right? If I say something that they interpret as being a coded version of something, that is thought policing. They're saying, we know what you meant, regardless of what you meant. We know what you meant, and we are going to punish you for it. These all make sense, like no harassment and stuff. I mean, no insulting someone. Again, that's not protected. So again, it's definitely not free speech. Like, this platform does not care about free speech. They don't care about censorship resistance. They don't care about immutability. So a lot of the things that you see on most blockchain platforms like Steam, who Dan Larimer, the creator of EOS, originally created, you don't see those same values here. Do not upload any images or videos that include the likeness of others without their consent. Do not make misleading statements. Don't defame anyone. Misleading statements. No pornography. That's fair. Even that, I wouldn't make an argument for free speech around pornography. No exploitation of minors, of course. No violence or gore. Animals being killed. So that's been a recent concern for a lot of people. Hunters will post their kills or whatever, and there's large social media hunting communities that have been being censored a lot because of just animals, and it's kind of gory, though obviously maimed, tortured, and abused makes sense. But animals being killed honestly shouldn't really be a concern, because that's what hunting is. Like, what if you have a GoPro hunting vlog? I mean, yeah, I don't know. Or even just posting a picture of the kill you got after. I don't hunt, but I don't think that they should be censored by any means. Like, that seems weird. Don't post extreme or shocking images of gore, including but not limited to dead or medical procedures, wounds. See, medical procedures, again, what if there's a educational platform, a channel that all they do is they educate doctors on how to do certain procedures and different things like that? I think that's weird that is a bannable offense, or at least deletable. Very, very weird. No deception. Do not try to sell anything fake. Do not pretend to be anyone else. Do not make misleading statements about your relationship. That's fine. No illegal activity. That's obviously fine. No spam. Do not create low quality posts that are designed primarily to drive traffic to a different website. Again, that is also very subjective as to what low quality actually entails. I understand the reasoning, but that is still that is very interpretable and subjective. What you can't do. Do not breach our terms. Do not harm voice. Do not manipulate voice. What happens when I break the ground rules? If you break the ground rules, they will delete the post. You will be assessed for a strike. Your first strike will result in a warning, and then you go warning, 24-hour mute, 7-day mute, 30-day mute, 1 year, and then termination. That's really good that they give you 6 strikes, but I'm curious as to see how that will go about. Your first. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, at least they're saying like they're going to have a 6-strike process, but again, you could get a bunch of strikes for something really like weird, like if you're a medical channel, like I mentioned, all the things that I mentioned earlier. So, you know, it really just comes down to what your interpretation of that is. Is that just basically Facebook and YouTube? Is it any better? Hard to tell. I don't even know how their moderation will be able to scale very effectively, especially when there's like money on the line and people are earning money. But we'll see. Now, before I end this off, I wanted to just show you the little get to know voice to give a brief overview of what the platform looks like and what it will entail. So again, there's a very good authentication. You're basically only ever going to be talking to real people unless they sell their account or, you know, have some weird means of being able to get an account. But that also means that there won't be any companies or channels dedicated to like a team or different things unless they make exceptions. But as far as we know right now, it's just people. So, you know, that's a thing to consider too. Someone that I was watching mentioned that this will not be a platform for, you know, like leaking information or anything like that, because there's literally no anonymity and they might just delete your stuff anyways, because leaking information could be considered illegal and then you'll have it deleted and then you'll probably get terminated. Who knows? Posting. This is what it kind of looks like. You've got like it generally feels like Medium or like Minds or something like that. You highlight text and then you can use the little toolbar that pops up and it's just a general blog publisher. It's what you would normally expect. And then when your post goes live, when others like your post, you earn voice tokens. Oh. Okay, well, when I was watching all the people on the platform, that didn't seem to be the case unless it was like you earned the tokens after a certain amount of time. Again, unless they're really meaning to say voicing, like the voice promotion, not just a regular like. I'm not sure though. We'll have to see for that one. Let me just add this though to the tokenomics here. I wanted to make sure to capture as much information as I possibly could to include in this blog so that you guys knew as much as you possibly could, whether or not you have access yet. I think this gives a pretty good idea of what the platform is going to feel like and what it's going to look like. You pocket the reward. So you collect your rewards. Daily reward 102. That's not bad. It's gonna have to be worth very, very little to be able to support that though. So that'll be interesting. And yeah, I guess the sign up rewards are gonna be different. Not sure how that's gonna work, because unless this is just some random example, because when I saw people doing it, it was like 3,000. Collect your voice. Everyone gets voice tokens just for showing up. Yeah, and then you can voice them. See, right here is, you can see this person wrote this post and listening and listeners is followers and following. So this person is following this post, and someone named Olivia Lee voiced it. So they paid to promote it, and then also they are in the promotion. So that's kind of what that looks like, where you're promoting this person's post, but you show up above it, and this will link back to your post if you clicked on it as well. That is pretty much everything. You can go and request. I'll leave a link for actually requesting the beta, because if you're in the United States, it might not take too long. The person I watched got their email in spam, so maybe check that, or just make sure you have voice.com not like as one of your contacts so that it doesn't get filtered into spam. Regardless, though, that was everything that I could possibly find on Voice. I'll also link the FAQ for what is publicly available. That doesn't give you the information that people who have access can see. They have a different access to an FAQ that is much more relevant, up to date, and yeah, it's more relevant to the actual platform's use rather than, you know, what will it be like in the future and stuff like that, because that's kind of the way that this is worded, because it was updated last at the beginning of February, whereas the other FAQ presumably is more recently updated because it's relevant to the actual platform itself. Anyways, though, let me know, are you on Voice? Have you used it yet? Have you tested it out? Do you plan to test it? Are you planning to sign up when it is available in your country? What are your thoughts on the KYC verification? What are your thoughts on what I mentioned with the reason why they might be so slow to roll out to other countries? Let me know everything you think about this in the comments below. Let me know if I messed something up or I missed something that was really important to make a note of. I always want that feedback. I want to learn more myself. So anyone who actually is on Voice who can add to this, I would love some more feedback from you guys. Until I actually get the chance to test it out myself, I'm limited to what everyone else shares. So again, thank you so much for watching. You are amazing. Have an amazing day. If you did watch to the very end, I really appreciate it. Make sure to comment #1 comment #1ham in the comments below so I know that you watched the entire video. Again, thank you so much. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, signing off. Cheers.